If you told me at any point in my life that this is where I would have ended up, I would not have believed you. There's no way. I grew up in a Christian home. We went to church every week. I did Bible quiz, where you memorize scripture, you memorize books of the Bible. And I never, ever would have, thought I would have even had a drink, much less get to a place where it's controlling me. I do think one thing that allowed alcohol to get as bad as it did in my life was not wanting people to know.
And I think that was one of the big problems through our marriage was I couldn't tell anybody, and that's where sin lives in the darkness. I thought this is it. It's transition, it's change. We're moving into a nice house with my parents, and my dad's a pastor.
And so I think in Hunter's mind, she thought, there's no way he's drinking here. That would be just a horrible idea. I found ways to lie and hide it. Until one day, she came home. I was passed out in her parents' media room.
So I remember calling his parents, and I told him, I said, your son's been passed out all day at my house drunk, and I need you to come get him.
So when I woke up, she told me that she'd called my parents and that my bags were packed. I lost it, still with alcohol in my system, just angry. And I think part of that anger was just, I was still trying to control my life, and I hadn't come to any place of surrender or release or needing God or needing anyone else, really. I still felt like I could handle it.
Watching your husband drive away with his parents, and you have a 3-month-old on your hip. I was 23, and I felt like my life was over.
As things got worse, so did drinking. So I show up to work intoxicated, but I try to act like nothing's going on. Maybe 2-3 minutes into being there, my boss calls me into her office and closes the door and says, Alan, you're intoxicated. I think the reality of what was happening and the emotion, all of it just hit me, and I just started weeping. On the way home, I just remember being so angry and really feeling like, what good am I to anybody, really? I text Hunter and I said, I think life would be better for you and Mitchell without me.
And I just remember thinking, no, this is not, you're not gonna win, devil. You're not gonna take this from me. And so I remember calling his dad and saying, I need you to go in there. I need you, wherever Alan is, I need you to get him. I need you to take his phone, and I need you to speak life to him. They
called the police, and the police showed up. So I checked into a detox center in Dallas that night. I'm sitting in there, sobering up, terrified, but also wondering, why in the world am I here? How did it get to this place? Through that night, I think, was really the real realization of, if I'm in charge of my life, this is where I end up. Because for all of my life, I wanted to be powerful. I just wanted excellence in everything, and is really just a root of pride. And I think there was a real moment of saying, I have to have God do this. And that was the last day I ever had a drink.
I just can't believe how this has happened and how it's happened so fast, and we're almost on 2 years. God truly not only restored us, He restored us 1,000 times. I mean, I love Alan more today than I ever have, and I just am so thankful that he chose to surrender.
It doesn't matter how I look or how people see me, if that's more important than how God sees me and what I believe He says about me. It took me a long time to actually believe that, but I think that's where I'm at today.